One map down, Apeks looks to come back on their own map pick, but home ground might not be a home ground advantage if it is commonly shared between the two of these teams.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a map that Spirit are more than comfortable playing. I know it's a map that, well, I know I've said a lot about Donk, but it feels like he gets away with some rather egregious fighting, and I imagine we'll see more of that as this map plays out. Apeks, of course, starting on that T side, courtesy of this being our map pick. And already a 3 lean to B on the Team Spirit defense. That bomb situated outside of the apartments for Apeks, and they're still probing, waiting to see and feel things out, throwing smokes over that A side to see if they can distract the Team Spirit defense.
Yeah, I don't like this. This seems very obvious. You just need one player checking it out, and that's exactly what happens. So they maintain 3 on B. Donk's already found 1. The bomb has not revealed itself. Well, actually, it has. Kixon getting the kill as well. But now, despite the fact that the fake over has given them nothing, the cascade onto the B bomb site has given them every kill it feels like that they needed. Chopper still a ways away from the bomb site. The bomb can be planted and will be done so by nawwk.
Chopper does have a kit and a smoke, so there are some resources at his disposal, but he also will be lacking in that armor, and 3 players that are all in different positions that can keep him contained on short. They know that they damaged him fairly heavily, so they just swing up together and finish off the round. Good counter kills from Apeks, in spite of the fact, like you said, that Fake didn't really do what it was supposed to in breaking down that defense for Team Spirit, but they found those 3 entries they needed to crack into that B-bomb site rather quickly afterwards, even though Donk started off the affair with a nice clean kill. No one else on Spirit could really slow down that hit.
I will say, that fake seems like it shouldn't work more often than not. But hey, you know what? What do I know? Donk, though, he knows. He knows how to wield a deagle. Great damage from the nade, and that'll be where responses were attempted but not found. Not enough of them, at least. Donk collects on a 2nd kill. The meanwhile, Sense will be off to a much better start than he did have in Ancient, but that doesn't mean that this will not be a round stolen away. Now remember, the deagle was only singular in nature. Donk has already made up for the investment, but can Artfrost find more?
Yeah, they're very quick to retrieve it off the corpse of Donk. So there is a chance that this D could still have some more impact. Bomb outside of the B apartments, which Artfrost would have been on a collision course to find out himself. But him nestling away inside of B could be a massive problem for Apeks if they decide to finish that direction. CacaNito trying to line up for a flank, finds Zontix in the back, and may have carved out a path to B, but that's where things get very scary for exactly this reason. Sense dealt with, but Kixon there to quell the flames of what could have been a burning house for what should be an Apeks round.
The question is, do they end up on this A bomb site? Because they don't actually know if Chopper has a deagle or not, anything like it. If he could have maybe recovered an AK.
They're coming here.
I know those weapons are at the top and middle, but that could have been neglected at the same time. Chopper likely gets himself 1 more kill on the bomb planter with 20 seconds. Apeks is unlikely to fake and unlikely to clear everything out. So while CacaNito and company could maybe clear this one forward, they are going to be looking to plant inside the smoke, and that takes away a lot of the deadliness of this pistol. But can he still find a kill? Yes, and now suddenly that smoke is working against him. Chopper can move back. He's at the stairs. He's recovered the rifle. Oh no, has he? Yes, he has. Galil picked up smoke as well. I think he might have spotted the head of Kixon. Yes, he has, but Chopper can't find the frag. Kixon with a double kill, but not a smooth round for Apeks whatsoever. That is close. That's wild.
I mean, that's a very scary round for Apeks. Losing the first 2 kills to a deagle, and then falling right into the trap of going towards B, and then almost falling into another trap on the A-bomb side as well that Chopper had orchestrated. I mean, really well played from Chopper, but very difficult for him to do much about it after it just ends up in this raw gunfight where he has no armor and Kixon does. Maybe that's the big difference for that round. Could have been a stolen 2nd round for Spirit, but Apeks dodging that bullet for now. Now into a full investment for the CTs. Artfrost on that AWP, and there will be some limited resources to stop these rush plays. But Apeks are, at the moment, grouping themselves up for what looks to be an execute. So not showing a lot of presence in the early round. There's a lot of information that Spirit can gather in this interim.
Kind of interesting that Chopper is just holding this anti-lurk angle, but he's not ready for this full execute to come through, and they're playing for stairs control. But Chopper has already found the first frag. Donk trying to get aggressive, but he's unsure of targets, and nawwk will punish. And unsure. Now, Zontic's down. CacaNito, the man to remove him from the server, but he's lost a teammate. nawwk and Kixon will both fall. The bomb cannot be planted. This Molotov not doing great work. CacaNito, however, he is. 2 frags found. Will he expect the turn? Yes, he will! Once again, it's Mr. CacaNito to come through and give them another round.
Another 1v1 there for Chopper, and what gives him up there is he wants to reposition. He's trying to play the role slower on that last man. You know, CacaNito is basically thrust into this 2v1 after he gets the immediate trade into CT, but they knew that Chopper was floating around CT. He found those kills, found that, like you said, and pointed out, that anti-lurk angle, got that first frag, found Kixon on the plant as well. There was a lot of information about where he'd last positioned, and he wanted to re-navigate, but once again, it kind of felt like Spirit were almost not on the same page. Not winning out on a lot of those duels obviously doesn't help, but Chopper, when he's asked to deliver in these clutch moments, has not been able to succeed. So another very close shave for Apeks, but off to a 3-0 start nonetheless.
I do really like the fact that they go for the stairs isolate execute and just Molotov out CT. Just feel like that forces Donk or someone out there to just take a fight from connector, and you know, that's the isolated duel that you want to get. Not one to the back of triple or anything like it. That's a much more tricky duel. And yeah, Donk finds nothing.
Double scouts here for Spirit, and a faster play here from Apeks into the B bomb site. They will bypass a lot of the presence. They do find that player on the bomb site, but there's no real issues here for Apeks to crack in. These scouts are not likely to find much of anything. Donk is well dealt with on his scope, and a much cleaner round here for Apeks, just changing the pace up slightly. Even though Spirit had pretty heavy presence over at B, it's not able to make use of it.
Do you think the scout has a place in a CT loadout?
I mean, personally, and this is totally biased for myself because I've hit some really nice scout shots, yes.
Okay, fair enough.
But it is increasingly hard to justify. Like, an SMG is, you know, arguably just as strong or stronger.
Yeah, I like to have, you know, all 3 of the rifles, right? The M4, M4, and the AUG. Jacob, though, he'd like to have any rifle in his hand. Hell, he'd like to have hands. He's a dead man. CacaNito, though, is still making sure he's not too lonely, but he himself will suffer a similar fate.
I really don't understand, you know, watching many Donk Mirage
kind of
games,
weird.
seeing him fight in the middle of mid so frequently and still be able to get away with it. This time, he will overstep. nawwk was waiting for a bit of over-aggression and finds it, so it's back to a 3-on-3 in which there can be no trade here for Spirit.
Senses moving past the smoke. He's got a timing matrix. If he isn't careful about this, he's dead. He's gone, and with that, the B bomb site will be as well. Artfrost is nearby, but keeping an op scoped in over here is so difficult now. Does Apeks try and cheat back to A in the meanwhile? They're definitely considering it, and in that consideration, Senses lost his life.
Yeah, heard no additional steps inside of the apartment, so knows that there was no reinforcements coming to back up Sense's entry on that B bomb site. So after Zontix clears middle, has a good read that this could be an A-side play instead, but they have still separated here on Spirit. I'm surprised that this is the case.
Zontix does have an incendiary, and with 30 seconds left, if Apeks takes too much time, you know, gives them one isolated duel, there's no way they're getting this bomb plant down. So I say that, but they've got a smoke down. Feels like they're very good about consistently getting this. Molotov is good. Have they realized he's here? Doesn't feel like it, and he somehow managed to shoot around Kicks, and he is tracing his body rather than shooting into it. It's supposed to be coloring book, not a draw your own activity. Zontix still, though. Out here to try and create some art. Molotov out to the back of Kixon. Kixon will be forced forward into Artfrost's scope. Zontix is trying to bait out a shot from nawwk, but nawwk is yet to reveal position or weapon. And with the clock ticking down low, it does feel like he's given them this round already. First swing out is not punishing. The duelies will buy time, and that time should be just enough. It'll be right down to the wire. Zontix does have a kid, and he's got it right at the nick of time. First round on the board for Spirit. They finally win a clutch.
Oh my god, Zontix almost dropped the ball there as well. Fired off so many shots on that M4. Thought for sure he'd killed killed nawwk there, but it just simply wasn't enough. Had enough time to quick switch back to his M4 to get those last few bullets in, and that fumble could have cost Team Spirit the round, but a very close shave, still a defuse, and a successful retake. I mean, great patience on display, really, between those two youngsters on Spirit. Maybe more to find in these coming rounds. Apeks, their money has not exactly been built up too heavily, even in that 4-0 start.
Well. Oh, okay. All right, so a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes coming on here. I'm not going to lie.
The movement has changed on that particular box. There's no way you can silent drop anymore. You can't simply jump up anymore. You have to crouch jump it. So those are small things that players are going to have to adapt to. The map has had these minor things that have changed from Go to CS2.
That's why I call Michael here, man. He tells me everything.
Well, I know I've tried to do that myself as an A anchor, and it sucks when it happens. You're like, wait, am I stupid, or is the map changed?
I won't lie to you. I thought you always had to use the crouch for that jump, so... Flash in the face, but Zontic's on the side. Donk's been given some time, and that time's been put to good use. 2 for 2 in middle. And with that, the team's gained control. CacaNito will be threatening a window push, in fact. Could actually go for the jump up and try and keep Artfrost delayed, as the rest of his teammates will be going in, but they are not ready for the XM flank that'll be set up inside Palace. Chopper is looking to get busy, but in that business, he will lose out on a business partner. Magix is gone, and Artfrost is mollied. He's burning, and he is electing to maintain that in order to chuck out that nade. But Chopper, he's trying to go down. Come on, Chopper, just pump out those shots. But time running down low. CacaNito will be able to find a kill. Will he get the pump line? Yes, he will. Now another 1v1. CacaNito will not be able to actually get his gun out, though, and Artfrost can just accelerate and bring him down.
Yeah, I mean, basically had to commit to the plant there. If you're CacaNito, goes for the triple plant, didn't really know where Artfrost was going to be positioned in from, and thought he might have enough safety in from CT, but great trigger discipline there to just bleed out more of that clock as well from Chopper. Pumping out those shots, he knew he had the whole round in his hand. And finally, he delivers in one of these moments that feels also crucial for Team Spirit. You know, one of his 1v1s, I wouldn't even really slight him for it. I think he had 3 kills from CT, where he was the solitary defender. And then he was put in a 1v1 somehow afterwards. But now it's kind of broken the money here for Apeks. Sure, they got the plant down, so that's a nice little cash injection, even in a loss. But unlikely that they'll fully commit to a buy here. So a chance for Team Spirit to close that gap a little further. Again, it does have to be kind of sickening. You know, if you've ever watched a Team Spirit demo, Apeks know what to expect on these fights in mid, and they've still not been able to counteract the aggression that Spirit so typically throw into that area of the map.
I mean, you saw it in the previous round, right? Like, they throw out the flashbang, they keep him blind, they do their due diligence, but Zontix is just playing literally hard anti-flash for that specific thing.
Yeah.
And he swings out, he dies, and he's fine with that because Dawn gets 2. CacaNito, unfortunately, is a little bit late, so you can't get that swing up with the first flashbang either, so yeah. Artfrost taken down. Nawwk, that's a surprising kill to get with a Galil, but that's a surprising pair! Up top with a shot! Chopper, triple kill, and he is making money.
Yeah, welcome to the chop shop. Just chewing them out with that XM. I'm glad. I am glad shotguns are getting a bit more love.
Yeah.
There were a lot of changes that happened to the shotgun. You know, changes to the kill reward happened. They made the sprays more consistent. You know, I guess the spread of the pellets more consistent, I guess is more accurate. And still, players underutilize them, but now in CS2, it's a whole new game, a whole new experience, and people's minds are a bit more open.
So what you're saying is, before we only had like the MP9 would seem better than a FAMAS, maybe an MP7 if you want to be a real hipster about things. Now we've got a shotgun now that seems better than a FAMAS as well. Okay.
Don't forget the UMP as well. You know,
That's true.
those
Yes.
big UMP meta.
So what I'm understanding is that Valve is trying to make up for the fact that no one wants to use the Falmouth, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, where's the R8 in all this? I've only ever seen 2 players really use the R8, and
Wait,
one
so
of them was...
JW, who was the second one?
One of them was, yeah, definitely trolling a little bit, and the other was an Asian player that I don't know where he went anymore.
Was it Nexka, guys?
No, I think it was
that the
Bingo.
ones? Ah. It was on Lin for a while, right?
Wings Up, I think.
Wings? One of the two.
Yeah. And I
Maybe the
will
one
say,
before.
it wasn't very impressive in his outings with the R8.
You're not wrong. Listen, that's one of those guns, the R8, the Negev, and the M249. Keep him out. Oh. Checking for the catch. That no, actually dodges that most of the damage. Cool.
These are a little scary for Art Frost. Last time he peeked into ramp, he got annihilated, so he doesn't want to have that happen again. But he's missing a lot more shots than I think you'd expect. There's a little angle there for
such an annoying angle.
Magics as well. Yeah, it's very cheese. Incredibly difficult to clear if you're a T-side player. So many angles as you emerge from those apartments. Just like that, Spirit are tied up 4-4 a pop, and Apeks could find themselves on the back foot should they not win here.
And keeping in mind how many clutches Apeks won, right? Like, it's not like this 4-4 is one of those situations where at least Apeks has something that they can go back to. It feels like in every single round they're losing out on exchanges in a way that makes it a 3v3, a 2v2, and then you're playing the round from there. No one in middle though. That's a change up.
Yeah, maybe realizing that they were going to target that area once again, but you see Apeks are a little bit reserved about their approach. They already got Jacob towards the top mid boxes, already crossing the second Delpan, but they've lost sense on one of their extremities, and so this might lean them towards a B-side attack just simply because they've lost control of that area so early into this round.
Feels like you've got nothing to do now with Sense not here. TTs can even start to maybe put a little bit more pressure back over toward the B-bomb side. Nade to try and clear out some of the connector smoke. Dong's got sight lines, and you can already see he is rotating back to B. It's a good call, and it's the right one. Magix has got a smoke and a Molotov, so keeping these guys at bay is going to be not the most difficult thing. Magix, however, is not actually on the B-bomb side. This time it's Zontix and Artfrost, and they're both not able to find the initial kills. Taken down, both of them. And although Donk had started to show as if he was cheating back over towards his B-bomb side, he doesn't actually commit to it, so it's a 3-on-3 yet again.
Yeah, except for the flank by a chopper, but the AWP in Kixon's hands has struck Dunk down, and now it's all reliant on Chopper once again. Has to have high impact from his position. It's an open plant for short, but Chopper's not going to accelerate, not going to show or reveal his position as of yet. Still ducking under the sightlines and could go undeterred. Kixon, a free kill, and now doesn't realize that nawwk is sitting right underneath. CacaNito, the one that covers that drop out of apps, and now Magic's that last man standing. Very difficult from here on out. Yeah, nawwk, a great reposition at the back of the bomb site. Apeks, they go towards B, where it felt like there was very few options for them to re-engage the A-side attack. Team Spirit didn't make a heavy gamble, didn't make a rotate. They were still flying blind.
Even then, Artfrost and Zontex both not finding a kill apiece, and even then, when Chopper gets that frag, it's surprising to me that Magix doesn't try and make a move, doesn't try and accelerate or do anything like it, right? With the pressure of apartments now revealed. But regardless, it did feel like Spirit was in a good position, but Apeks are able to exploit them nonetheless. And now Apeks are in the driver's seat in the sense that you win this one, and you're probably ending out on maybe a 7-5, an 8-4 if you're doing particularly well.
It feels like Team Spirit are compensating for the fact that last round they conceded middle control and they just basically couldn't make a good call in the final moments of that last round because they had no mid presence. So now they sit with the setup that they've been going for very frequently. Zontix and Donk trying to fight for it, but a late execute here from Apeks in middle that will force those two players back.
They've also only got 2 flashes, and one of them is on Magix, and Magix from Sandwich just can't flash middle. Right, so now with these 2 players, all you can hope for is the smoke to dissipate or for someone to get too aggressive and actually come into their crosshair. Kixon might be doing that, but instead he's ended up going for a fake drop down. Zontix's crosshair isn't in the right place, but his body is. And now so are the bodies of Spirit as they're making their way back over to this B bomb site. Great defense from Donk on a double kill. Chopper has also taken the time and the kills to move out, but he's revealed his position maybe too early on. Thought that there might have been a player at the back lines of Van, but instead he will just be found without getting a kill. But with 30 seconds and Apeks having members running down dry, it's all about Zontix's swing out. Sense though swings past and Chopper is eliminated. Still, time's out on their side, and as Magix is getting aggressive, now only Zontix is left. Rotating back to market will give him at least some sense of surprise, but surely they start to expect it.
Great angle held by nawwk. Read right into where Zontix was last seen. He was on short, and the fact that he never showed himself for such a long period of time, understanding that he could re-navigate into market. Great heads up from Apeks. That looked like Spirit were going to clinch that round and take it by the horns, but different players driving the initiative at different moments and not all fully committing to that philosophy. Apeks were out on the bomb site. There was time. They weren't engaging the plant. Chopper spamming was an open spot and maybe seeing a body or something, but it just felt like they were running off of sort of old info or something along those lines. It just there was some kind of disconnect there for Spirit, and Apeks fully take advantage.
No, I'm really not sure what's going on with these B-side defenses. They're definitely struggling, right? Jacob finds Artfrost in the meanwhile. This anti-eco's really whatever. Maybe we get a kill or 2 from the CTs, but it should be a walkover. Even in the previous round, Michael, I mean, I know you mentioned that they couldn't get like sort of a good call, but it wasn't like their positions were bad, right? Like,
yeah.
They had a numbers advantage. They had 2 players on the site, including an AWP versus no util. That seemed like a recipe for success on the B-bomb side. And unfortunately, these recipes seem like they don't matter. They're being put onto a flaming stove where the temperature is unknown.
Honestly, I think Apeks are doing a really great job as well of kind of slowing down in these hectic situations, because Spirit are a very high-intensity, chaos-driven team. And for them to be able to counteract these sort of late-round moves and, you know, kind of brazen decisions that these players are going to make in these later stages of rounds is actually really, really good to see. Especially when we think about, you know, the comparisons between Ancient, Mirage, Anubis, all maps that are all like very one-plane focused, very open sites as well. You know, that's a strength that if they can transfer that into that 3rd map in the series after kind of getting brutalized on that Ancient, could be a way for Apeks to kind of steal away this series, but maybe I'm thinking too far ahead.
Look, it's also great for me to see right now the fact that even though Jacob's not necessarily doing the best, they're still doing well. Yeah. Apeks, they might be able to continue that process, but Chopper's shotgun is at least one consistent factor. Zontix as well on a swing out from short will do what the lack of donk might have left you doubting. Still finds the frag, though.
Yeah, Chopper's been a big savior in quite a few of these rounds. Has had actually had some great positions to stop rounds. Not always fully capitalized on them, but he is utilizing the full 100% of his brain in quite a few of these moments. Sometimes the hands can't keep up.
100% brain utilization looks like this B, and then by the XM.
Sounds about right to me.
Oh, he's got an AK in his hands now, but position is really good. Completely removing any reason to worry about focusing in towards A main, but Artfrost has to hit these shots as he's starting to scope back out over. He is concerned of actually taking a deep angle, and that is for good reason. nawwk. Again, Michael, you've praised them for their slow play, and in that slowness, They are finding kill upon kill. Magix is about to be sidelined as well. His body's been shown off, but he's still able to swing out wider. Maybe he can put up a defense, but they know where he is, and Nock's nade will take him down. Nock is having a splendid performance, and it's only Chopper who, again, was the one who started this round.
And this is a 5 versus 3 that has fallen right through the tips of Team Spirit's fingers. This could have been a 5-7 half, but Apeks have taken this half by the horns. It looks like 8 is pretty much all but dialed in. A missed shot on that AWP, sure, but we're going to have to see 100% brain engagement here from Chopper if we want to see a clutch. He has a kit, but these positions are just simply too hard to clear, and in his loudness, he will not be proud here for Team Spirit. An 8th round for Apeks on their map pick. We'll see how things turn out in that second half.
Really felt like every clutch, every disadvantage, every mid-round was a playground for Apeks. And well, hopefully they're not done playing yet. And maybe Jacob can find his ball as well. He might be a little bit on the older side, but we know he kicks it about like nothing else. 3-11, and despite that they're 8-4 up, the question is, can Spirit bring it back before Jacob finds his hands?
Sense inside of the B apartments, or at least having the balcony to cover, but full cleared by Team Spirit. He was the only man that could have really deterred a B-side hit. CacaNito quick on the flank with his dualies, and he's had a hell of a half, but we'll have to do a lot more and a lot better than that. 1 kill would have been nice, but they're just getting chewed up. Every single fight being won by the Team Spirit camp and barely taking a lick of damage in their pursuit of an open site, an open plant, and what's looking like a firmly planted in pistol round.
I am not one to criticize micro decisions because you know what? Listen, man, these guys, they're incredible players. They probably know better than me. I feel like if you're gonna get a duel, it's going into like underpass as a CT side makes no sense to me though.
It doesn't feel like the most conducive pistol. I will agree with that.
I feel like CacaNito probably gets at least 1 kill on the backstab if he has USP there, but hey, whatever, man, it's all good.
Yeah,
Nock's life isn't all good. He's dead.
the most sort of intuitive positions for dualies are like heavy fighting positions, and underpass is very much a flank.
Like Sense's position.
Yeah, Sense's spot for sure. Or even like underneath the window outside on the B-bomb site. You know, that's another one that I've seen players like to throw themselves into, but
use it like a shotgun, basically.
Yeah, or an SMG. Either way, things didn't work out like they had planned, clearly, for the Apeks defense, and so now they're on USPs, so...
Wow. Watch him get a triple kill.
Yeah, they didn't go with this buying pattern the last time they were on CT side for Ancient. They went straight for the force buy, but them having a lead as well probably helps them in this choice.
They did have 2 Kevlar saved as well.
Yeah, but I think
like the full...
it's probably more to do with the amount of resources you need on Ancient to take like early map control on CT sides. Like you're throwing Molotovs and smokes and HEs on elbow, for example, to take mid. That's probably more to do with it.
To be honest, I just think that was... They were trying to prioritize the knock up, which you might want to do more in Ancient if you are trying to have like the knock be more of a stationary op on the B side initially, so that more of your players can rotate back to A if need be. You know, we did see Sense seeming like he was struggling a bit. But yeah, he would have had an op regardless because he did have like 3 kills. But whatever, I'm not talking about that previous map. We've got USB shots that might not connect. CacaNito's got one. See, Michael, I told you. Knew it. Only just the one that I don't think that there's much room to try and find more. The gun obviously can't be retrieved, and Spirit knows he's got a USB, so there's no reason to run out.
Yeah, you said 3 kills, so I mean, I'm not letting you off the hook that easily.
If he lives, he'll eventually.
What kind of weird math is that?
Oh, he's got an AK. That counts as 3, right? 2 kills, and he's getting a consolation AK. I'll take it.
Yeah, you can't gas at me on this. That's not what you said. Good damage though, and a hell of a lot of economy saved over as a result of getting his hands on an AK. So I mean, I can't knock his effort there. But surprisingly, no priority on knock. Of course, no AWP. This is the buying route they decided to go with more rifles. More duels can be had, but doesn't mean that that long sight line cannot be covered.
Is that a smoke? Okay, well you what? Okay, that is just a different CT smoke. Never mind. You know what? Nade is very good though, and Team Spirit will not feel too happy about it. Flashbang will keep Jacob away, and Kingston just dies. He's dead. Jacob, although he spots out the player's head, can't actually connect with a shot, and that gives Zone take some space to take him down. It is chaos all over the site, and it's all coming down Team Spirit. When the smokes finally are removed, when the flashes stop blooming, Team Spirit comes out and they've won the round.
Yeah, just a straight up A hit, and Apeks wanted to fight in front and ahead of all those smokes, but a lot of good utility there by Team Spirit. The counter flashes, honestly, it was just flashes. They just kept layering flashes on these Apeks players that were ready and rearing to fight, and sure enough, Team Spirit outgunned them. That round was very hectic, only because of what Apeks decided to do once they saw those smokes bloom on A. But I do like how quickly teams have adapted to the new way you have to throw, like, the stair smoke, for example, you know, so that it doesn't beat into sandwich like the old lineup now will do with the volumetric smokes. It's the one smoke that everybody knew on Mirage, and now it's wrong, so...
I won't lie to you, I have been throwing it wrong consistently.
Yeah, it's like, why is there a smoke in sandwich? That was always the discussion for us, like, whose smoke is that? Our stair smoke missed. But it didn't miss, it's just different now.
It's actually probably better as well, right? Because before there used to be the problem of there was a small gap on that side. So yeah, makes the execute all the more difficult to deal with.
Of course, now you can nade those smokes open as well. So, you know, CS2 giveth and it taketh.
I will say, I think from everything, I love the volumetric. Sure. I feel like it's really just, you know, whoever was doing the thinking at Valve, they did the thinking right.
Yeah, like, how do we use this newfangled technology of Source 2?
Yes. And it does feel like it's one of the most sort of natural changes to the game, in my opinion, because it feels like it gives players a lot of creativity, right? So you're seeing these standing smokes, you're seeing these pillar smokes over towards Ancient, or hell, even in Mirage, there's like these pillar smokes that exist and whatnot, right? It's just new shit. Yeah. And you know these Counter-Strike players who are nerds are going to figure out a way to deal with it.
It's also just antiquated technology. You know, sprite-based smokes is something that we've been using for decades now in video game development, so to see something a bit more intensive, sure, but also feels like it just makes sense as well. Enter the game is great. And there's been slow and steady churnings here for Team Spirit on Mirage. It was an 8-4 lead for Apeks, 4 straight for the Team Spirit attack, but a bit of aggression inside of Palace. But what is that from Zontix? A spray transfer and instant headshots on both. That should have been a kill. He should be dead. And Zontix gets away with absolute murder.
You don't very often get to see that from Zontix, right? Just an extreme mechanical display of brilliance. Very often it'll evade you. He's just making the right moves, he's isolating deals, doing this, he's doing that. But he's got the hands. Yeah.
He didn't seem really ready for a second player at all as well. Just, you know, instincts kick in.
It's like flow state. Well, if those are the shots Zontix going to be hitting, then Apeks better gives Jacob some cereal or some milk. I don't know what. I don't really know what activates things. Maybe some monster energy. Because he needs something. Pi Day shouldn't be infinite, even if those numbers might be. Well, John probably moving forward, and that's going to end one way or another, and it will be in a whatever, 1-1. Apeks would have liked to save that gun. I don't know how many more they can actually recover on the Spirit side. It feels like everyone except for Sense should be removing. Even Sense is just going to be smoking himself off. Donk is going to be considering moving through that smoke, decides against it.
Just letting him know he knew where he was. Yeah, need to take a timeout to screw their heads on straight. Losing 2 inside of Palace. It actually seemed like a fairly decent call to just simply get an isolated fight, especially if they didn't want to try and combat Spirit in middle like they were doing so much on their CT side.
They got the headshot on the Zontix as well through the wall initially, right? It's not even like a full aim fail or anything like it.
Yeah, that's not how it's drawn up at all. You bring that second man to ensure you get the frag.
Yeah. Like taking your older brother to a playground fight and then he gets beaten up.
And listen, sometimes that happens, you know? Your brother's overpromised, or the gunfight just simply doesn't go your way. Even if you make the right call, you can't always win the round.
Wait, there's a gunfight with my brother?
Okay, well, no,
Michael,
I'm drawing a comparison, you know? We're drawing parallels here. But, you know, you don't have a lot of wiggle room now. This is a tight game, and now Spirit have overtaken when they have been trailing for all of Mirage.
Oh! Let's go. CacaNito can do it with everything except the duelies, apparently. Will be just the one, though. If this ends up being a B-bomb side hit, then Apeks has a chance to rob a round out. If not, well, all you've got is the MP9 of Jacob to try and defend this A site.
You need to really rethink the phrasing "rob a round out." It's a little too close to something else.
Yeah, listen, if the shoe fits, then maybe don't wear it. That sounds unhygienic.
Yeah, probably. Well, it doesn't seem as though they are going to fall into that trap. Walking up connector, hearing and seeing nothing. And they might be able to put 2 and 2 together. Palace, ramp, those are exposed. There's nobody that can go out and face check it. So they're using basically all of their utility to clear out these positions. And even though Jacob is fairly likely to get away with a frag here, oh, well, never mind. If he got that kill, this round still probably wouldn't have been on for Apeks. Those two players clamoring inside of the B-bomb site more than likely would have saved. But Team Spirit kind of dodging out what could have been doom and gloom on that secondary site. Instead get to double digits before Apeks after trailing 4-8 coming into this T-side half. And for those not with the quick math, that's 6 rounds straight.
Yes. Thanks. I appreciate that.
No problem. I mean, it's always risky.
Like, I was trying to count, but then I realized I only got 5 fingers. Like, now what do I do?
We got 4 fingers and a thumb. Actually, I'll have you know. Actually.
Well, 4 is the amount of fingers that you have on one hand, and Jacob's got as many kills. Hopefully he can find his second hand and actually put it to use pretty soon.
Yeah, it's kind of... It must be quite annoying, really, for Apeks to really have a quiet performance from CacaNito in that first map, where Jacob is really taking control, and now it's the other way around. And, you know, he's one that we were touting to be a relatively consistent figure for most of his career, and has been struggling to find that same sort of relevancy here on the second map, where they need it to force it into Anubis. They control out the gate here for Team Spirit. And now weighing onto the lines of Apeks. Nade is decent. Actually very good, in fact. Full damage onto Magix. But not a whole lot that can be done to capitalize on this fact. Nade to blow open the con smoke, but nawwk misses his opportunity.
Flashbang to keep them away. They're really trying to make sure that this 4-man pincer off connector can work out, but Zontix has already taken out one of these members. CTs will not have too much to face off against. CacaNito still swinging out wide and through the smoke. He's found Magix. It's Zontix to fall next. It feels like there's just no fair fights until Donk is in the field, and even he's only got one. Artfrost can trade and makes it 2. Running out of ammo though, and in a one-on-one that could be critical. Sense is taking this chance to push forward. Artfrost though has located him. Sense with an nade forward, could have taken him down, but doesn't quite go deep enough. The flashbang was good, but Artfrost cannot follow through with the quick aim adjustment. Sense and the wide swing will give Apeks their first CT round.
Yeah, really nice shot at the 1 versus 3 there for Artfrost. nawwk not realizing he was exposed around the edge of that smoke. Almost broke that round completely for Apeks. But good maneuvers. Honestly, just good moves in general from Sense, not to try and take that fight outright after losing his opportunity. And he's been, I think, warming up as the series has gone on after being, what was basically abused on Ancient, to now being fairly influential in the way that he's played around his team.
This is a fast hit coming in onto the A-bomb side. They are hoping to catch Apeks with their pants down, but Kixon, well, he's found a corner to nestle away and hopefully get those buttons back up. Kixon swings out, but he finds nothing. Chopper still removes him from the server and the site, while CacaNito's trying to get busy up on top of the ticket box. Only good for the 1. Meanwhile, Jacob's still locked out of the bomb site as he's lost his teammate, and Jacob is losing more than just the 1. Jacob and nawwk will be forced to go back and save at this stage. Apeks have got no chance of retaking this site.
That was wild. I thought they almost over-seasoned the hit. There was so much util sailing out onto that A-bomb site. Team Spirit were getting flashed themselves with how many flashes were sailing over. They basically have no utility for what would have been a post plant, but who needs it if you kill everybody that would even threaten your bomb site? That was kind of mad. Apeks just couldn't slow down the hit at all. Kixon getting dropped, and then Donk as well pushing deep into CT to get 2 kills. Basically tied the bow on top. There was almost too much utility, is what I'm trying to say there for Spirit, but it still worked out. You could tell this is a team that very much thrives in sort of dragging you into the dirt with them. Gotta say, hats off to Chopper for that call. Lovely change of pace. Very hectic, but Apeks, that could be a knockout punch. No more money left. Oh god, nawwk exposed underpass, a Molotov as well, but enough room to escape, courtesy of Zontix respecting that ult could have taken him out of the round as well.
He caught off completely. Jacob's able to find him, and with that, one of the few kills of this game. In the meanwhile, he gets information about the fact that, well, it is Zontix who's gone down. That is a man who likes to lurk. Maybe that means the A-bomb site needs to be reinforced, and in the process of trying to test that hypothesis, they lose the advantage. And with this, they might be losing the side as well. They are trying to accelerate on Team Spirit. Donk moving all the way past, jumping right into the smoke. CacaNito is good for one. Can it be good for more? No. Donk is sidestepped, but nawwk's given enough time to come through into the site as well. Magics will collect. But with nawwk's position known, flashes in his face, it has to be sensed to make a move. He's going through the smoke. Magic turns around. The timing isn't good for him. And Artfrost is traded, but he doesn't know nawwk's nearby. A shot that's missed. Spirit find 12.
Oh no. Not like this. He had no idea. Not a clue where nawwk had gotten off to. He could have repositioned jungle, sat deep spawn, anywhere but ticket booth. And he misses his shot. A great set of kills there for Artfrost, but a trade that should have been for Apeks. And now a 12th for Team Spirit where, yeah, Apeks can pull together a buy, but it will not be met with good utility nor good resources. No kits will be available for retakes. That is a gut punch. And they got away with some egregious rounds themselves on that T side. 3v5s, 2v4s. They had them all. Every numbers permutation where you're at the disadvantage, Apeks were able to pull through. And now they sit on that CT side where it gets down to these final moments where stakes are high. And Spirit are the ones now pulling through for themselves.
Stakes are high, spirits are higher. Well, I can't say the same for Apeks. You've got 5 M4s, barely any utility. Aggression is a must. It's either pushing or stacking. Those are the only ways to win around, it feels like, with the way this setup is sort of materializing. They'll abandon middle. They know they can't contest it. The clock is ticking and the noose is tightening around the throats of Apeks. Will they be relegated to the lower bracket of the playoffs over here? That is the question. And as Magix is exploring out of connector, there's 2 players. One of them already found. Kixon on the other side of a wall in the smoke, but it's much closer than that. Chopper is also going to take this chance to try and see if he can get aggressive over into B short. There is an op on the other side, but Kixon's won the duel. Magic's not ready for that one. Kixon's got 2, and maybe this is what they needed, a hero performance, and they've heard the steps back. Chopper, though, finds a B bomb site. They know there's been a rotation. nawwk's made the call, but do they know Chopper is still holding down position into B? He now has got information of this player in underpass. An underpass player, Kixon, looking for a 3rd frag. Donk's gonna know where he is. Swings out wide, anticipates it, and with that, it's all down to Jacob. Jacob has to get 1, if not 2 kills to give them a chance here. Swings out for the first, but he cannot connect. It's all nawwk, a 1-on-3, a situation that seems impossible.
A gamble taken there by Chopper, but once he dealt with Jacob, this is the round. A 1-on-3 and in from a flank that they should anticipate. Donk's now clued himself into it, and he'll find the headshot. 25 kills for Donk in what was a one-sided showing. Once we got into that second half, Team Spirit took over on the attack, and they were front runners from the get-go, but it felt like Apeks really had this map in their hands.
Absolutely. Apeks in that first half looked like everything they were doing in the mid-round was...